Hey everybody, thank you for downloading episode 88 of We Got This with Mark and Hal. I have 3 quick things for you. Number 1, our producer Ken Plume, who was here live when we recorded this episode you're about to listen to, also just had John Hodgman on his podcast, A Bit of a Chat with Ken Plume, which is a great podcast. He's been doing it for years. He's talked to all sorts of cool celebrities, writers, podcasters, funny people, comic book people, all kinds of people. And it's a chance to hear them in a non-interviewee context. It's a lot of fun. Can't recommend it highly enough. Go to kenplume.com to find out about all the stuff Ken does. And you can back him on Patreon at patreon.com/Ken Plume and get access to exclusive episodes there. Also, Mark and I are going on a boat this spring, y'all. We're going on the JoCo cruise in 2017. It's March 4th through the 11th, and there's still cabins available. And if you've never been on the JoCo cruise before, it's basically a 7-day convention, gaming fest, shows, and getting to hang out with other people who like the stuff you like and the people that make the stuff that you like. We have the whole boat this time. There are still cabins available, so you can book yours by going to jococruise.com. That's JOCO cruise.com. Finally, LA-based people, I am doing my show Headcanon with Joseph Scrimshaw this coming Thursday, November 10th. So that is week after this week, if you are listening to this podcast during the week of its release. And we have an awesome lineup of guests. If you've not been to the show, this is a great one to come to. If you have been to the show, this is a great time to come back, which includes one of our favorite We Got This guests, Lil Janet Varney, and the composer of our theme song, Mike Furman. They're both going to be there. So what are you waiting for? Go get tickets. Go to hallublin.com. There's a banner at the top where you can get your tickets. But enough of that, because now, without any further ado, it's time to listen to episode 88 of We Got This with Mark and Hal. Hello, I'm Hal Lublin.
And I'm Mark Gagliardi.
Since the dawn of humanity, one issue has gone unsettled. With the fate of the world in the balance, we're here to settle, once and for all, best cuisine.
That's right. Don't worry, everyone. We got this.
Podcast should have a theme song. Podcast should not have a theme song. Yes, they should. No, they shouldn't. They sound good. Yeah, but people are just going to skip past it. You know what? You're right. We got this.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow. Wow.
Thank you for that unsolicited applause.
Such a joy and an unexpected surprise every time I get a warm reception.
What a treat.
From the audience.
Is everyone having a great New York Comic Con?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us at We Got This Live. I'm Mark.
And I'm Hal.
And we have some very special guests
Yes,
who are
we do.
here to cover one very, very important topic. A topic that, dare I ask, of all the topics, is the one that I feel is the most often argued among me and my friends. It's usually a very brief argument.
Yeah, mine as well.
But it is one of the most oft argued topics.
Yes.
So shall we bring out our very special guests
Yes.
to the stage right now?
Yes, please. Everybody welcome John Hodgman. Jean Grae.
And John DiMaggio.
Let's see. Anybody have water? Let's see, please. Yeah, right here, perfect.
So
Welcome.
I mentioned before that this is a topic that is very frequently a short debate, but an often had debate. And the topic is this. Picture yourselves right now. We're all very hungry.
That's true. Yeah.
Hey guys, what do you want to order? That's right. Best cuisine is our topic.
Best cuisine.
Best cuisine.
Of all the foods?
Of all the foods. Now, here's how this is going to work. I realize that this is a huge, huge undertaking.
One might say a global topic.
A global topic.
Yes.
This is going to be, we're going to break this into 2 rounds because it's easy for us to just go with favorites, rather than what is the best, which is what we are here to definitively determine. So the first round of this,
I'm just going to say crickets, high protein, sustainable.
great.
All right, can I go?
Buy some survival seeds and you'll be fine. So in the first thing we're going to do, I'd like to just going down the line, I'd like everyone to give me their top 3 international cuisines or regional American, whatever your favorite 3 cuisines are. This will get the favorites out of the way, and wherever the Venn diagram overlaps, those are going to go into the second round for the definitive, quantifiable best.
But to be clear, Mark, we're talking about something you go out to eat.
Something that you can
go out or take in
at home.
But
go out or
Either
take
one.
in.
It could be go out, you could be taking it in, you could be getting it delivered, but it's not something you're cooking at home.
what if
and
I
trying
can?
out. Like what
Or
are
what?
your go-to?
But what if I can cook it?
If you can cook it at home, we're going to your house right now.
Okay. It's 1P.
Do you have a spoon?
Yes. All right.
John DiMaggio, what are your 3 favorites?
My 3 favorites?
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right. First, you got to roll with some French food simply because they are the gourmands of the world. Second, you just put that right there. Second, I think would have to be Chinese. Simply for number reasons. Because there's so many Chinese
That they make,
but, I mean, who doesn't like Chinese food?
That's true. That's a good point.
You mean like a billion people, there's bound to be a million great chefs.
Yes. I mean, yeah. So it's a numbers game. The second one, I say, and then the third, I mean, Italian food.
Yeah.
Sure.
You're DiMaggio.
Yeah. I
You're
can't
speaking
go.
Italian.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Italian.
That's why I'm sitting next to you.
All right.
We're going to go get some pizza after this. Forget about it.
Do you have specific favorite dishes within each of these cuisines?
No. I didn't come that prepared.
It's just, you go to a French restaurant, you're like, just give me a pile of French food.
Yes. And put it all in a bucket.
Doc has his cooking bucket.
I know. I'm going to use it. But no, the techniques, the food, like there's what's in season. Like that's what's really stressed. Like what's in season. Like seasonal food. You know, like that's the thing that they do the best.
The French handle seasonal food better than anyone else.
Yeah. Because they know how to work an ingredient.
All right. What about, do you have a favorite Chinese dish?
Anything with chili peppers in it. Anything with chili peppers.
Like
anything
when you get
spicier
like
than
the
hell.
whole chili pepper.
Yeah.
Do you eat that when you get it?
Oh yeah.
You do?
Yeah. But I don't sit there and like put the whole thing in my mouth like,
Right.
I'm not a maniac. But I'll cut it up into little bits and,
Okay.
you know.
I always treat that like the bay leaf. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I eat that
Wait,
thing.
you'll sit there and slowly cut up a chili pepper? In
Yes. We gotta be careful. You want the flavor, but you also don't want to, you know.
Ruin yourself.
Yeah, you don't want to, you won't want to like throw up or something like that because you're like eating a hot pepper.
This morning, I was taken out by some new friends of mine for Korean food, which I had for brunch, and I ordered something called the extra spicy noodles and extra spicy seafood soup. And it came in a red broth, which is warning fire. We all know that. And then it had what I imagine were 90% of the chilies that they had on hand in the restaurant.
Yes.
On top. The seeds were everywhere. And you know what? They lived up to their name because I was sweating, my eyes were tearing, my nose was running, and I've never felt more alive.
That's Korean food. Korean food is hearty.
It was for real.
It was here in New York City?
It was here. It was at 35th and 5th.
Sure. Koreatown.
Yes.
Koreatown,
Right
yeah.
in Koreatown.
No, that's.
But I like that too. But I did not, I had to make sure not to eat any of that. I was like, all right, it's here. I recognize it.
There's a certain time for Korean food. There are not certain times you shouldn't eat it because you'll be like, wow, I can't believe that came out of me after a meal. Horrible.
So your choices of cuisines are based on leaving.
Yeah, totally. I'm based on taste and flatulence afterwards.
All right. Do you have a favorite Italian dish?
There's a place on 9th Avenue over here that has a chicken parm sandwich. You gotta love a chicken parm.
This is like you have come and gotten this chicken parm sandwich at multiple New York Comic Cons. I remember
it's the chicken parm in Midtown. I used to live around a corner, so I knew the place, and it was just so easy to go.
It's a classic Midtown chicken parm.
Classic
chicken
Italian.
parm.
Where'd you get your chicken parm? In the West 70s? No, Midtown.
Midtown.
There. That's not a chicken parm.
It's right over there.
All right. So we've got Italian, we have Chinese, and we have French. Jean Grae.
Yeah.
Same question.
I had my 3 and then he said French and I wouldn't, and then I was like, sauces and butter.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh man, that's hard.
That's the name of the restaurant we're going to open.
Yeah.
Sauces and butter.
Sauces and butter, and that's all we serve actually.
That's all, yeah, exactly.
And, and French bread.
Yep.
Yep. We're going to make $1,000. The whole time we're open. First I have to go with, and I'm picking these because, of the range of ingredients that you have to make so many different things. Mm-hmm. Good range, good flavor, and you can kind of combine them into other things and make them into other things. If Indian, I'm going to go with Indian first.
Indian.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You got, your curries, you got your biryanis, you have your rice and your tandouris, especially because you got grilled meats.
Sure.
You got your samosas, you've got your naans and your puris and your raitas and if you play it perfectly well.
Sauces, your butters.
Yes, your sauces and butters. Your French Indian food. You can make that, into other types of food. This is Malaysian food. You can make it into Greek food, so you can get away with it. So I'm going with Indian, and also because I grew up on a lot of curries and stuff, and just, making a big pot of some food just to feed a bunch of people is amazing. Second, Mexican.
Sure. Good choice.
Mexican, again, kind of that whole, so many, you can have like 3 ingredients and make all the Mexican food. And just keep switching it up and kind of transforming things. And also, if you're going through a very, financially unstable period, Mexican food is great for you.
Very inexpensive. Yeah.
It's very inexpensive.
There's expensive versions of it.
Yeah, and it's never like great. It's never great. Like you want some down home Mexican, the best like Mexican restaurants in New York are the ones that are like holes in the wall and have been there for like 30 or 40 years.
Yeah.
Like don't make my guacamole smooth. Like I don't.
You're like a rustic guacamole.
Oh yeah, I want it rustic and in a bowl, a chunkamole with a stone in it.
Yeah. Do you like cilantro?
I love cilantro.
Okay.
It doesn't taste like soap to you?
Doesn't say.
No, and I'm not supposed to curse on this, but to anyone who says cilantro tastes like
it's a genetic
It's
a genetic.
Is it?
I have a genetic mutation. I can't.
It's a genetic mutation.
Yes.
Basically, when you say this
sounds like
to
an X-Men
cilantro lovers,
movie.
you're like, I think there should be a law for mutant registration in this country, and they should.
And I do. I absolutely do think there should be a law for
very
that.
Controversial.
Welcome mutants.
Hal,
Yes,
you taste cilantro as soap.
I do.
Who else in the room tastes it that way? No?
Get out!
Wait, this is a podcast, weirdos. Say something if you feel it. Who here tastes cilantro as cilantro?
There are 50.
Yes.
Yeah.
How? All those last people? kill the first people.
Yeah. And I would also like to say that, I believe one of the blue people in the back, the mutants, did not raise their hand. So we're fine. It's
There's
not
a lot
mutant.
of cosplay in the audience.
Yeah.
All of our mutations are different. I'm just the X-Man who can't have Oaxacan food.
Well, we'll see. But see, what happens then is you're turned off to like so many different kinds of food because it's not just Mexican food.
Yeah.
It's in a lot of Malaysian food. It's in a lot of Indian food. Like it's a lot of stuff. So is it just like all like big pots of soap? What have you thought maybe?
Dude,
you mean some sort of Fight Club?
Didn't you hear the podcast before this? He only eats and drinks milkshakes all day long.
Yeah, that's all I eat. And if you put cilantro in there, I'll know.
Just ask Spoons.
Just ask Spoons about it. Spoons knows.
All right.
Yeah.
I will say if there's even the tracest amount of cilantro in something I'm eating, I will know and I'll go, this tastes funny.
Wow.
And
If there's the tracest amount of a vegetable in something you're eating, you'll know, and it will taste funny to you.
Yeah, I can tell. If it's green, the plate ain't clean.
And it's out.
That's what I say.
Really?
That's not.
No, I would eat your hat right now, which is
Awesome.
green for the people listening at home.
Here's a question that I have for you.
Please.
Have you ever eaten an artichoke?
I have had artichoke before, yes.
Have you ever eaten asparagus?
I've eaten asparagus.
Now, when you urinate after eating asparagus,
yes.
Do you smell asparagus pea smell?
I believe the times I have, and I don't care as much for asparagus. I like not the head of asparagus, but the stalk I like. No, I did not. I don't like, it had strong, one time.
It's a one thing.
One time, Mark and his previous, I don't think I've ever told you this, Mark. Mark and his previous girlfriend.
Here we go, guys. Asparagus confessions.
And my wife over for dinner. And the meal that they made very well was grilled salmon and asparagus.
Ugh.
Now I'll tell you two things on my list of foods I don't eat. One is asparagus. The other is salmon. And I ate some, but I did eat some, cause I wasn't gonna go, I'm not gonna eat this, I'm a baby, where's my milk?
This was back when we were still being polite to each other.
This is back, yeah. Before we were on the real world together. When we stopped.
Well,
because, they say that, when you eat asparagus, it makes your urine smell different.
It does.
Yeah, but that is a genetic marker.
That's a genetic marker. Your urine doesn't smell different. You are different, and you smell your urine differently.
Why are you pointing out all the mutants, dude? Like, take it easy on everybody. We're all here having a good time.
I just want
trying to get along, talking about food, and you're just like, I want to single people out.
Yeah.
That's what's happening in this country.
I want our country to be clean.
And it's wrong.
You want a clean peeing country.
I know somebody that ate asparagus and didn't know that their pee would smell funny and ran to the OBGYN the next day like, I don't know what's wrong with me, but she's like, what's wrong? What happened? She was like, I got this funny, smells me, and my God.
Yeah.
And the doctor was like, well, what did you eat last night? He was like, I had a piece of fish, and then I had spaghetti. She was like, stop. Go home. I'm not charging you.
That's right.
It happened.
Asparagus.
That's why parents, you got to talk to your kids. You can't hide this from them. It's perfectly natural. You got to say, there's a child in the front row right now. What is your name, child?
Isabella.
Isabella, I'm going to call you Tiffany. Tiffany, do you have a parent with you tonight? Right next to you? All right. Has she ever explained to you that when you eat asparagus, your pee smells funny? No. See? Mom, what's the problem? She's going to go to the doctor.
She doesn't. That's a kid. She's
doesn't
not
like
eating
asparagus?
Asparagus is a teenager food, man. You go feed it. You don't like give a kid asparagus, like a spear of asparagus to a kid that's like 9, 10 years old.
Tiffany, Isabella, I want you to know.
You're giving them the vegetable finger.
It's perfectly natural. Do not freak out. Don't go on a killing spree.
Yeah.
Don't go to the doctor. It's fine.
It's
Asparagus makes your urine smell that way, and it's fine.
It's true, but Tiffany also, when you eat beets, that does mean that something is terribly wrong with you. And there may have been a murder.
You're talking, when you eat, now this is, you just said when you eat beets, something is terribly wrong because you're eating beets or because what happens after?
Because of what happens after. Beets are delicious.
I totally went to the doctor in Australia because I ate some beets on the airplane.
Yeah.
And
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wait, what? What?
You didn't know.
I didn't know.
You didn't know what happened.
I didn't know that if I had those beats on the airplane,
It's butt murder.
All right.
I was going to be afraid that blood was coming out of my butt.
Can I ask a question specifically to Gene?
Yeah.
What is the third cuisine you like?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. It's butt murder. Italian food. Italian food.
Two votes for Italian. There you go.
And do you have a favorite dish in each of these three cuisines?
Anything that's like a big bowl of curry and like some naan to soak it up and some rice on
That
the
one
side
pot
and some
dish you
rice.
were talking about.
Just that, like a good fall. That, but I don't know, a good like kind of Italian-esque kind of stew in a fall could be real nice.
Like Italian wedding
big,
soup? The meatball
yeah,
soup?
big pots of
Italian
food
wedding
with like
soup.
things to soak it up and bread. Yes.
I will soak anything in bread. I'm very happy, except peanut butter and jelly.
Anything. Basically, just, if there's an Italian that I could soak up with some bread, also good.
All right. John Hodgman,
Yes.
the same question.
All right. It's not the same question because your question is about 35 questions in one. Because you start out with the best cuisine, then the best takeout food or dine out food. It's too broad. It's too broad. It's because food is connected to a moment in time.
Okay.
So if you're going to ask me the best food is going to be eating barbecue brisket at Franklin Barbecue in Austin, Texas. The best that I've ever had.
Okay.
And I've had quite a bit. Also eating that bowl of pho that I had in Montreal in the year 2001. And then the tuna fish sandwich and martini I had after I finished a run of shows and was very happy that all my jobs were done. And it was 1:00 in the morning, and I made a tuna fish salad. And in the fridge, pre-refrigerated, was a jar of mayonnaise. It had never been opened. It was virgin mayonnaise. And I made the greatest tuna salad of my life. And I had a great martini, and I watched The Property Brothers until 3 a.m. That was probably the best meal I've ever had. But if you want to narrow it down to like takeout food.
Apparently it's American, Vietnamese, and American again.
Well, yeah, barbecue. So barbecue, right. I would say for sure. If I'm going to order in, it's going to be barbecue, Indian, and Chinese. Yeah.
Now hold on a minute.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
That's food memories.
Listen, I think barbecue as a worldwide cuisine is underrated. Every cuisine has like roasted meats over fire. Every one of them.
I think in this instance, though, you're speaking specifically of American barbecue. I don't want to put words in your mouth, John.
But what I'm saying is that every cuisine has a burning meat over it.
Yeah, but Merca got it right.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Trump. Hal?
I agree with...
Milkshakes, and milkshakes.
Asparagus stock milkshake.
3 different. Mint chocolate chip milkshake, chocolate milkshake. No.
And weirdly, asparagus milkshake.
Oddly,
I love it.
It's the only time I like it, with a little salmon salmon wedge on the top. No, I love barbecue as well. I think well-made brisket, like Franklin's, is a joy to behold. I would also say Chinese. I'm a big fan of Chinese food. I like beef with broccoli, shrimp with broccoli, anything in lo mein. Egg rolls.
But you're now talking about American takeout Chinese food.
No, well, I mean,
because there are many, as with Indian, there's many different regional differences.
Yes,
True.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's
Cantonese, Szechuan. Yeah, I like
Cantonese or Szechuan.
Oh man, I feel like I had Szechuan this week. I went to Shanghai Joe's or Joe Shanghai.
I know that place. I've never been to it.
It's Szechuan. It was great.
Soup dumplings. What are soup dumplings?
Yeah.
That
it has the
What are they?
dumplings.
yeah, no, I mean what cuisine? It's Shanghai. It's own
Szechuan.
Szechuan.
That's
Yeah,
is
I
soup
prefer Szechuan. Italian. I love Italian. I love good rigatoni and like a pink sauce. I think that's great.
boy.
I wanted to get shrimp. I like shrimp with my pasta, and I ate it at an Italian restaurant in the village.
Here's a question.
And
When
they
you
yelled
have shrimp with your pasta, are you one of those terrible people that puts cheese on top of it?
No.
Bless you.
Why would I put cheese? I will get it with a pink sauce, which does have some cream in it, but
I'd like,
that's
I'd like an
cream
order
sauce
of
is
cheese on
fine.
shrimp, please.
yeah, it's gross.
I've seen it.
I asked for a Cheese Whiz fountain, and then I just dip the shrimp in it and eat it.
I'm strangely okay with that.
I can tell Italian's going to get narrowed down via the Venn diagram.
Yes.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure it
So
will.
should I wait until then before I start talking about how my own ancestral food is terrible?
Yes.
Sure. What is your ancestral food?
Well, you may not know this, but I am 1/4 Italian.
I did not
No,
know.
you wouldn't think.
And
So
that
look
is
at
the food that you think
a
is
man,
terrible?
a man named Hodgman who burns in the moonlight. Probably does not read as Italian to me.
Burns in the moonlight. Man, that's cold-blooded.
But it's to himself, so it's okay.
Putting on sunscreen at 7 o'clock at night. Like,
Yeah.
gonna be a rough one.
You know how it gets in November.
All right. It sounds like a lot of cuisines. There's a few that have crossed over on this Venn diagram.
World cuisine.
World cuisine.
I'm still trying to understand the whole
I
subject.
know it's.
You're normally so disciplined, but this is really
This is. Yeah, this is the most disciplined show on pod.
loose. This is loose.
This is. I'm trying to keep it tight. So the ones that seem to cross over were Italian, Indian, Chinese,
Stop.
barbecue.
No, barbecue is only
You and Hal
me.
both had barbecue.
Yeah, but that's 2 against 5. No, 2 against 3. I think, I'm just saying, look, I'm not your producer. I'm not your editor.
No, Ken's the producer and Hal does all the rest of the work.
But I'm not your father, cause he's sitting in the front row checking his phone throughout the show. I've noticed, sir.
Now you know what it's like to eat out with him.
But I am your stepdad. And so I will say this. Chinese versus Indian food versus Italian food, that is a showdown. You add barbecue, it just gets
I don't think barbecue should look, because barbecue, it can go anywhere, and it's true. Every part of the world has
John,
their own different
Barbecue
kinds of barbecue.
sounds like the
So,
angry
yeah.
white guy in a hood standing by
Yeah.
the side of the three of those cuisines like, come on now, I should have been picked. Y'all don't know how to cook. Put some smoke on it.
Too much political correctness.
All right. So
I just named barbecue like the Ku Klux Klan of foods. What? Why did I do that?
Do you have
I didn't mean that.
correct. It's kinda correct. It's kinda correct.
There's I don't know.
Where they make barbecue the best, there's a lot of clans.
Yeah, I know.
a lot of
Well, they're
clans.
burning the cross. They might as well cook something. You know what I mean? Like,
Just throw a brisket
You're
on.
burning a cross. You need a big napkin.
yeah.
It's kind of a built-in one sort of thing.
Jean Grae for the win.
I just want to see.
Jean Grae for the win.
It's just a collection of Klansmen hanging out, and they've got barbecue stains on their hoods, so they all look like the ghosts in Pac-Man when they're being chased. Like post-power
I love
pellet.
as
All right, so
as much
Indian,
fun as that is.
yeah.
All right. I'm trying to get disciplined.
Barbecue enjoys its own space.
Yes.
With the clans.
We'll go with best barbecue. Will be a different episode.
Yeah,
We've already done
yeah,
it.
That's
Yeah.
right. What
Did best barbecue, so
what
that's
was
already
it?
done.
What was the answer?
It was
Clan.
it was Memphis.
Oh,
style
best.
barbecue.
That's right. We already did that.
Mark doesn't remember
We've done
anything
84
we
of these.
record.
Oh.
He's like, yeah, we'll do best barbecue sometime. When are we going to cover Star Trek?
Hey, do you guys think you should put ketchup on a hot dog?
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
But the winner was Memphis style
Memphis style
pork
barbecue.
ribs.
Memphis style pork.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's
Fair.
good. Well done. Perfect.
Thank you.
I can't believe I forgot.
All right, Chinese food versus Indian food versus Italian food. This is perfect. These are all balanced. They're all broad regional descriptors of food that we have a basic dumb understanding of in America.
Right.
And they are incredibly influential and important cuisines. I love it. Go. I'm out.
So
by the way, I'm out. I've got to go.
Now that we have gotten personal favorites out of the way, we are going to move to, this is now we are trying to quantify the best. And we have 4 categories, that are 4 criteria that are going to make up what is the best. One of them, we've already kind of covered. The first one being taste, of course. The second, nutritional value. The third, variety. Did you just boo nutrition?
Yeah. This is Comic-Con.
Yeah.
This is Comic-Con. Yeah. Of course they're going to boo nutrition.
Yeah. The only food in the Javits Center is personal pizzas. Right?
Yeah.
That's the only thing they have.
Nachos are a vegetable.
Yeah. If you put jalapenos on them.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Hal, we won't put jalapenos on you.
Thank you. Finish your nachos or you won't get dessert.
Yeah.
The third criteria is variety. And, the fourth criteria is, this is a little more out there, but the ambiance, and you're gonna hate this, Hodgman, I know, because of the generality of it. The general ambiance of the restaurants.
Oh, I don't hate that at all because I've got strong feelings.
Okay, good.
That's good.
Yeah.
So we're going, it is Indian versus Chinese versus, what was the third? Italian. Great. So let us start then with, let's start at the top, right?
Can we start at the number 4, actually?
You want to work back?
I will tell you, I had Mediterranean food or Middle Eastern food at a place in Philadelphia called the Middle East. It had a big camel out front.
It's called the Middle East.
It was the downstairs restaurant. There was a comedy, the Comedy Works was a famous Philadelphia comedy club. Yeah. And below it was a restaurant called the Middle East where I went to eat when I was like 13, 14 years old. And inside was very loud sitar music. An out-of-shape belly dancer right in my face, and then food that to me was foreign. And as a strict milkshake guy, you can imagine how difficult that was to deal with. But I have traumatic memories of eating there because I felt like this is what it's like when you are in hell. It is just all sounds and weird, and like there's odd colored lighting, so I can't see what I'm eating, which really bothers me.
Hey, hold up there, milkshake McXenophobe. I don't know why you're talking about a restaurant in Philadelphia called Middle East when we're talking about Indian food, Chinese food, and Italian food.
I'll tell you.
None of those things are part of that.
I know where you're going with this,
because the atmosphere of the restaurant is a larger part of the eating experience than you would think. And that colored my enjoyment of Middle Eastern food, which I do enjoy to this day. Like, I don't want to go to restaurants where the ambiance overtakes the food. It should complement the food.
You want to see your food. You want to eat in these stage lights.
Yes. Right. I need a full CSI team to inspect every dish I eat.
I want to walk into your kitchen and it have those like cloudy white plastic sheets in a square around, like you're going to have a total clean room in there, lights overhead.
What is your favorite restaurant in the world?
My favorite restaurant in the entire world. There's a Chinese restaurant in Willow Grove, Pennsylvania called China Garden Inn, where my family has been going for 20 some years, to the point where when I graduated high school and college, they gave us gifts. Like they gave me a gift.
What did they give you?
They gave me a red envelope with money in it. Which is very sweet.
Hard to argue with that?
Yeah, hard to argue with that. But
and that's a classic American style Chinese restaurant?
Yes.
Right? Suburban.
Yes. And I think it might be Hunan style, if I'm not mistaken. No, it's Szechuan. It's Szechuan, of course. It's my favorite, Szechuan. But the food there,
and the lighting was appropriate, and it wasn't too loud.
It's not too. Yeah, look,
it wasn't too in your face with its exoticism.
Yes, it was just beige tables and chairs and a beige wall,
and everyone had to wear identical jumpsuits and masks.
Yes, I had a full TAC team to come and serve me my food. No, but it's that's my favorite restaurant because I feel like I'm home when I'm there. Like they
but that's contextual. That has nothing to do with.
But the food is fantastic.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
It's my favorite restaurant to go to because I love the food. I love taking people there who haven't eaten there so they can enjoy the food, regardless of whether I knew people there or not.
I'd like to go there sometime with you.
You are welcome anytime.
And maybe you and I can team up and go and the Middle East restaurant still exist in Philadelphia?
I don't know if it exists.
Well, we'll find out and burn it down.
Okay. Thank you for supporting me.
So that is,
that's a vote for Chinese.
That's a vote for Chinese.
That's my vote is Chinese.
Cause ambiance wise, from the Italian end of the row here, an Italian restaurant with a gingham tablecloth and the little like rounded trapezoid red glass candle and that like, what is wrong with you? Come on. These are the foods of my people.
Two mine.
Yours. Are you self-loathing Italian?
No, I am from my grandmother.
He doesn't have a good meatball recipe. That's his problem.
Yeah.
You don't know how to make meatballs.
That's right. I love Italian food. I love eating it. I love making it. It's a hugely diverse cuisine. Spectacular. The way Italians eat food, it's reverential and I think very life affirming, and that's terrific. I do not like going to an Italian restaurant ever, and here are the reasons why. The chairs are uncomfortable. One, and two, they usually feature the 4 worst words in the English language. Only wine and beer.
Oh, okay.
I hate that. If I can't, I don't want to drink your wine or your beer or your water, cum gas or sin gas. I want to have a martini. Please. It's just not part of their cuisine.
We're so glad that you all made it to the meeting tonight. Hi, I'm John. I'm an alcoholic. For those of you, it's your first time, maybe you'll come up and talk to us, but we're going to give out a couple of coins tonight, so it's going to be a great night, you guys.
It's a bunch of people getting coffee in the back of the room right now.
There's coffee in the back. Just grab a chair. You know where they are.
I feel like you're going to the wrong Italian restaurants then, because Sambuca is like, that's liquor. You get that at the end of a nice Italian dinner in an Italian.
I don't want it at the end. No, the main thing is it's just those chairs. They're so straight and narrow.
It's just the chairs.
All right. So what is your preferred of the 3? What is your preferred restaurant experience?
Do you like that restaurant where everybody sits in easy chairs?
Yeah.
I really do.
Actually, they're in the ESPN zone in Anaheim. Which is not going to win anything. They have a row of recliners where you sit and you have a tray that comes in and they bring you food and you eat reclining like it's Pesach or something.
All I can only picture is just some guy from like Fullerton just laying there like, I want more wings.
Sir, your game's been over for an hour and a half.
I don't care. I want more wings.
Bring me weed?
No. I said I want more wings.
Wings.
Bring me weed. Bring me weed.
You can order it that.
And then I
guess I could have said yeah.
Wings after that.
Exactly.
All right. So what wins of the 3?
Well, I would say, the thing about the Italian restaurant is the Italian emphasis on wine. Wine is lost on me. I don't care about it. I don't have a taste for it. So I would say lunchtime at a Chinese restaurant. I will have the time of my life.
Wow.
Just yes. And in fact, like there's a Szechuan restaurant on 9th Avenue. I think it's Grand Empire Szechuan, which I will go to any day of the week.
It's Midtown Chinese food. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's right. Midtown.
That's right.
The good stuff.
Sorry.
All right, that's two votes for Chinese as the ambient restaurant. Jean Grae.
First off, you're a monster. Don't talk about wine like that. I don't know what's wrong with you or your family.
I'm just saying it's
wine
not for
with
me.
a meal. I don't know. Okay. All right. Learning some things about you today. I would love to pick the Italian experience just because there's so many wonderful steps to it. And, there's in courses wise, and yes, I want my grappa at the end of the meal. I definitely want that so I can pass out. If we're going for strictly New York dining experiences, then I have to pick Indian food.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mainly because there are these amazing restaurants on First Avenue, and you got to go up the stairs. And
where Milan is?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
But my favorite restaurant is the one next to Milan. It's
really?
the other one.
The other one where there's always a guy standing out in front going, Please come.
Why
is everybody walking to Milan?
So yeah, it's kind of like you get if you brought people there the first time, they're like, what's happening? Are they selling us something? Or did you do something earlier? And they're kind of like, they really want to get you in the place. And when you get in there, it's just lit up the entire way through. Like they went to like 4.99 stores and bought all of the lights.
Yeah.
And like also all of the decorations.
The entire outside of the Griswold's house at Christmas.
It's just
inside
all of it.
This one tiny room on First Avenue.
Remember that place on downtown that used to have the, that's right, the Rose of India. With the music, and they play music for your birthday, and it goes crazy.
And then they do that at the same place, and it's so small.
I love that.
And this guy dances down I don't even know how he fits down the aisle. He kind of like dances like through you and inside of your meal, and you're okay with it because it's someone's birthday. But it's, I like the whole experience of having like the colors, the sounds, the lights, the everything. I need it. Yeah, it's great.
The last time,
and also it's like $3.
It's very cheap. Yeah. It's great. The last time I ate there, I realized that what they had decorated the walls with, these beautiful, like, swirling, round-colored lights, I got up close to them and I realized that they were just Christmas lights.
Still in the box.
Had not been taken out of the packaging yet.
No, they leave them in the box.
Yeah, it was just the coiled up Christmas lights. You're supposed to take them out and string them across your house, but they're like, just put the whole thing on the wall. It's a styrofoam brick with
It's great.
Yeah. So Indian. John DiMaggio, the same question.
Italian, Chinese, and the Indian. I have to go with Italian.
Yeah.
Just because, I don't know. I like to get, I don't know. I don't know. I just like I like hearing the guys yell at each other, you know what I mean? They're all nice to you up front, like, Morosera, ¿cómo está? How are you? Let me go get you something to drink, whatever you like. You want a little water? You want a little water? Okay. I'll be right back. Sonny, go get the water. What are you doing? I love that. So I'd have to say, I want to know about, like, the Nona in the back.
Yeah.
You know,
like Nona's in the back.
Nona's in the back
making the gravy.
Making the sauce and everything. And I just love it. And nothing against the other two cuisines. I love Indian food and Chinese food as well. But I mean, like the atmosphere in a place like, but I'd have to go with Italian just because it's funny. It's funny
that Gagliardi and DiMaggio on the end of the two. They're like, we like the Italian.
Yeah, I know. We we're showing our true colors.
It's a difficult decision. I'm torn between those two, and also because of the yelling.
Yeah. No, the yelling is always fun. Yeah. There's a family drama.
You can get that in any restaurant.
No, that's true. But it's you can understand it a little more in an Italian restaurant.
And other restaurants will wait until the kitchen door has swung shut.
Yeah.
And then you barely hear the screaming. The Italians, you'll just scream to the kitchen.
Yeah.
Like, do you have to go put that in the computer? Nope.
Spaghetti! Yeah.
We did. I ate dinner at an Italian restaurant last night that was so small that if they needed butter, they had to go outside of the restaurant and down into the basement and then come back. And also the woman whose father had opened the restaurant 25 years ago, I was like, hey, I'd like the rigatoni with pink sauce, and is it possible to add shrimp? She was like, no. My father didn't do that. I'm not going to do it. It's not what they do in Italy. But then they had, like, New York cheesecake on the dessert menu.
Like they have in Italy.
Line drawn between what is and is not happening in Italy right now. She was real, like, anything, we got to the point where we were afraid to ask for anything different. She was just going to go, up yours, get out of my restaurant.
That's good.
She had you trained well.
Yeah.
I'll go there.
Yeah.
It was great.
That, you segued us nicely. The fact that they wouldn't do that, they refused to do that. They were not being versatile, if you will. Let's move on to you like that? Move on to the versatility question of the cuisines. I feel like our Italian brothers are going to lose this one. Yeah. But let's,
there's a tremendous diversity within the cuisine. But within each style, there might,
right. Northern Italian cuisine.
Northern versus
Italian
Southern.
cuisine.
Yeah.
There's, but a classic Italian American restaurant seems to be a little bit one note.
I feel like we should add -American to the end of all of these.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
American, Indian
That's
American,
fair.
Chinese American.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, if you want to. Yeah, all right.
Better.
Is what it feels like.
Yeah.
Both well-established restaurant traditions in most cities in the United States.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
So versatility?
Indian food, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because
I want to know.
Go get him, John. Go get him, John. Get him, Get him, John.
Go get him.
Because when I go to, there was a great buffet in Los Angeles, an Indian buffet that I loved, and I would go and every time I've been to Indian buffets or places where there's, it's served from the counter.
You know you have hepatitis right now, right?
No,
That's not just from an Indian buffet. That's from a buffet. Don't go to a buffet.
Hey, man.
Buffet.
Yeah,
First
they
of
had
all-
18 different varieties of other people's sneezes that you could eat off of a plate.
Exactly.
It's really hard to understand why buffets have not been made illegal. It really does seem like
Am I the only one here who...
something we'll read about in 35 years going, oh my God, well, how is that possible?
Have you ever been to an old country buffet? It sounds like steerage on the Titanic. It's just...
I have a quick story about
Remember when they...
If there's a thing that involves something called a sneeze guard,
Right, exactly.
probably.
I don't
Yeah,
like you
remember
guys
when they
talking on
thought
buffets.
sputum
I'm
was a
sorry.
condiment?
I don't like you guys going
All right,
after
so
buffets.
talk about
All right,
Indian
all right.
food and the
Okay.
versatility. I'm sorry.
Yeah, at that buffet with that Maginot line of a sneeze guard.
Yes.
That's somehow protecting you from
Real
germs.
quick, we went and we did a show in DC, and there was a buffet there that had a salad bar, and I was like, great. Or it was Atlanta. I remember specifically, it's like, that's my southern people, because I grew up in Tennessee. Their salad bar, you walk up to the salad bar, and it was potato salad, tuna salad, macaroni salad.
Yeah.
Those were the salads.
And then
on the salad bars.
just a tray of mayonnaise.
And just a tray of mayonnaise. Yeah. No, but I always feel like Indian food, I don't even know where to start. Everything I have tried, I have loved, and there are a million more things that I have yet to try. I feel like I've tried all the Italian dishes. I know there are a million other Chinese dishes that I have not tried, but it just, in my mind, Indian food is a vast wonderland to me.
I would make the argument that in a sort of mid-level Indian American restaurant versus a mid-level sort of check tablecloth Italian American restaurant, you're going to find a lot more variety on that menu, the Indian menu, than on the Italian menu.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you? There's
absolutely.
Because what they're doing is here are some meats and cheeses and breads we call pasta, and then over here there are 15 different curries. And
Yeah, you're going from vegetable dishes to curries to vegetarian things.
Your yanis, your
tandoori. A tandoori.
Tandoori.
It's a spicy tandoori.
I said that's a spicy tandoori.
Oh.
I would say if you look at menus, I would say that if we're...
Same with Chinese though, too.
Yeah.
Here's what I find. I find that just comparatively, an Italian menu is, say, like a pamphlet. And then an Indian restaurant is a magazine. And then if you go to like a traditional Szechuan, it's like an encyclopedia of how many different things. And I know it's like there are 18 different ways they make shrimp, and then there are 18 different ways they make octopus.
You sure do like to talk about shrimp. I gotta say, it
do.
comes up a
You
lot.
need some shrimp right now?
I wish I'd had that shrimp with that Italian food, but it just wasn't allowed.
It's not allowed.
And then she
And
blamed
can you put
Olive
some
Garden.
American cheese and milkshakes on it too, please?
No, hold the cilantro.
Please hold the cilantro.
No, the woman started blaming Olive Garden for ruining Americans who ate Italian.
With their Hospitaliano?
Yeah, I mean, it just...
I second that.
Yeah.
Who on the panel has ever been to an Olive Garden?
I have. I went
You guys
as
are
a joke.
missing out.
As a joke.
As a joke.
And I discovered not as a joke, that people are really there, one, and really being like, this is Italian food. And two, those breadsticks are amazing.
They are great breadsticks.
They are like a salt lick for a deer.
Oh my God. Everything else is horrible and just has I call it garnish. I just keep calling it I sent things back and be like, can you take the decorations off?
Decoration.
I feel like Olive Garden is the equivalent of the room at a large church where you take your children so they can cry. So there's so many crying children.
That's accurate.
Whoa.
Accurate.
Whoa.
Accurate.
It's like families walk in with their children going, shh,
Accurate.
as they take their seat at a table. I'm telling you the truth. Don't look at me like that, Mark. Sorry, I'm disparaging the authentic Italian experience. You can only get an Olive Garden.
Italian American. It's not great. I grew up because that was look, man, Farragut, Tennessee. That is our Italian option.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Man, that's rough.
Well, not anymore. Not anymore. There's a
Sure.
Maggiano's now.
Oh, God. My wife did a commercial for Olive Garden. Hey, she got paid a lot of money, but she had food poisoning when she shot it.
From just doing the commercial?
No, not for even doing the commercial. She had food poisoning and she had to show up to do the commercial.
Oh, she showed up for work.
That's showbiz. That's right. That's my wife right there. That's my wife right there. That's right. There you go. She told the director, she was like, okay, I'm going to do this. And there's going to be a bucket right next to me. And she's like eating the food.
How many?
Yeah. Oh my God. Sorry. I didn't mean to say that.
We knew we were going to bleep you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. They're totally, but Daddy, what's a bleep? And she's just like, yeah, eating it. And, okay. And cutting. Olive Garden.
When you're here, your family.
Yeah. Bring your family to Olive Garden. It's really a delicious meal. You can eat all the breadsticks you want. I can say what I want. My last name's DiMaggio, and they can come after me. I'll be like, I'll make a meatball and kick your ass.
All right. We are running low on time. So here's what I would like to do now, if I may. We can eliminate nutrition because apparently nobody here cares about that.
Yay!
And we have already really talked about how much we enjoy the assorted flavors and tastes of the regions. Yes, and
Yes.
of the region American. So how do we determine a winner out of this? Do you want to figure out one to eliminate as a group, and then figure out once we have two left? It'll be easier if we've got.
We have to reach unanimity or a simple majority.
We can reach unanimity on what we're going to eliminate, and then we could go simple majority on the winner, if that
We're
works.
the Supreme Court justices
Yeah.
of where you're going.
But in terms of nutrition, the answer is Chinese food.
The answer is Chinese food.
Yeah, that is the most nutritional.
It has to be.
Most nutritional.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I disagree.
Yeah.
Because it's not all, first of all,
Italian
it's not all cheese and bread.
No.
It's not all cheese and bread and fat.
Mediterranean
That's just
diet.
the end.
Mediterranean diet. No, Mediterranean diet. Mediterranean diet, Italian food is much more healthier than Chinese food.
I have, in my experience, Italian food is what has done me in, for more than one several month period.
Really?
That I've had to work hard to get rid of.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's all.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about, dude.
Look, I love it. And then Indian food is delicious because it's got pounds and pounds of clarified butter in it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I would say that Chinese food,
Whole potatoes.
I mean, there's a lot of fried shrimp in Chinese food.
Stop looking at me every time. I like other things.
And also a lot of just syrup-based sauces.
There's a lot of sugary.
Yeah.
But I think if you're going to go nutrition, like healthy, that's probably Chinese is your, I'm not saying one's better than the other. That's probably your choice.
Right.
No one here cares about nutrition.
No.
I'm just saying.
Okay, so
So we got to eliminate one, and then we're going to vote on we'll unanimously eliminate one, and then we'll vote on the final winner.
which one goes?
I mean, I think to me, it's a battle between Chinese and Italian more than Indian food. Although I love Indian food, and I've come to it a little bit. I got to it a little bit later than most people, but I love it. I love how spicy it is. I love the variety in it. I know that they'll remove the cilantro from it.
It's terrible what's happening right now.
You sound like you're giving Indian food a funeral. I
come
really
here
enjoyed
to praise Indian food, not to bury it. No, I think it.
You say Indian food.
To me, if this is Fraser Ali, it's Italian versus Chinese for me.
So you're saying Indian food is
I'm saying
Sphinx?
I would eliminate Indian food.
You're saying Indian food is Sphinx?
What? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Indian food is Sphinx. Okay, so they're out.
That's what I would say.
It's in the record now. He said it.
I'm
Yeah.
not the determinant. I am quoted now forever. Does anybody disagree with me?
I would order Indian food or Chinese food before Italian food any day of the week.
All right, so you got Indian, Italian.
Yeah.
But because of my heritage, I'll throw Indian food under the bus and have it be
You're throwing Indian food under the bus?
Italian versus Chinese. Just because I think it'll make for a very spirited podcast.
Jean Grae?
I'm throwing Chinese under the bus.
Yeah.
Not real Chinese food, but American Chinese food. I don't think deserves
That's fair.
to live
Okay.
amongst those other two. I don't think that's fair. It's just candied food.
So we do not have unanimity.
We do not have unanimity.
We just got to say that
I'm tossing out Indian food. I'm sorry. I love Indian food. But I got, Indian food. It's time.
I am
versus
willing to
Chinese.
also, I enjoy Indian food as well, but there has to be a winner. And for me, I'm sorry, Gene. If 4 against 1, I know we said unanimous.
no, it's all right. Kick the brown one out. No, it's fine.
yeah.
Got it.
There is a lot, and this is only that element is only the beginning of the uncomfortable subtext to all of this.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Let's not decide which ethnicity lives and which dies.
Yeah. That's a good call.
Let's just say what cuisine we like the best. We'll vote on it.
Right.
I mean, I don't want to take over your podcast, but I also don't want there to be a riot.
Great.
I think that's fair.
I think Hal's the one that said he wanted to throw India under a bus, right?
Yeah, and I joined him, but
nice try, Spoons. Nice.
All right.
previously
We're-
we got
we're-
this.
We have to make a decision here.
Italian.
Chinese.
Italian or Chinese?
Italian.
Italian wins for you?
Italian.
I know where you
Italian
stand,
wins for me.
DiMaggio.
Italian wins for me.
I'm in favor of Chinese food over Italian food.
I was gonna. Okay. Well, now Italian has won already, right? So I can say whatever I want. I'm like a voter in Massachusetts. I can
Whatever you want.
I can afford to vote for Jill Stein. Jill Stein is the best cuisine.
Jill Stein.
Jill Stein's the best
We
cuisine.
have 3 for Italian food, 1 for Chinese food,
And one for Jill Stein. That's
So, Hal,
All right. People of the world, I know you're hungry. I'm hungry too. It's supper time. That's all I can sing because it's a rights issue from that musical. But there's so many great choices, especially in a city like New York. You can get any kind of food at any time of day. That's what people always say. If you're in New York, you can get any kind of food anytime you want. You want Persian food at 3 a.m., you get Persian food. But
You want a chicken parm Midtown style? You
Yeah.
you can go anywhere in the city.
any Midtown style food you want.
Midtown.
were you expecting like a giant woo?
Yeah, I don't know. No, I wasn't expecting anything.
However, there is only one kind of food that is the best kind of food, but not at Olive Garden. Good Lord, learn from Kate Miller and her cautionary tale of that commercial. Do not go. You are just like family in that they will hold your hair up when you throw up in their bathrooms from eating that crock pot of clumpy, cheesy mess that they call a pasta dish. I've not been to Tuscany, but I'm willing to wager they have not one dish that represents anything on the Olive Garden menu. However, that being said, the best cuisine that there is to go in to a restaurant and eat or take home with you is Italian food, asked and answered.
What a treat to get these 3 friends of ours up here on this stage with us.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much for doing this.
I am so proud of you guys for this. Aren't you proud of them? I'm so proud of them. I love this.
We love you, Johnny. Does anybody have anything they want to promote?
Yeah, tell people where they can find you online.
At the John DiMaggio on Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah.
Snapchat and kiss my ass. I don't know what that means, but I said it anyway.
Yeah.
At Jean Greasy on Twitter and jeangrae.bandcamp.com because I'm always selling 20,000 new albums.
Yeah.
You can listen to my own discerning judgment-based podcast, the Judge John Hodgman podcast at MaximumFun.org and follow me at Hodgman on Twitter. Al?
Will you settle something for me, John?
Sure.
Mark and I appeared on your podcast to get a case of ours litigated or relitigated.
Relitigated, an appeal case, the first ever.
Settle in, everybody.
The ruling of that episode, if I'm not mistaken, was that you reversed the worst Christmas time, song of all time to Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time.
Correct.
But you upheld the decision of best Christmas movie because Mark did not make a compelling argument and I, like Barabbas, was not generous or whatever Barabbas did. I still don't know.
I don't know what Barabbas did you?
And I still didn't get it. Later on Twitter, you said all rulings are reversed, which Mark has gloated over me to mean that everything you said in that podcast is not true. Will you please settle the record once and for all?
All right. If I remember correctly, you maintained that A Christmas Story is the best Christmas movie of all time.
Yes, I did.
And Mark maintained that It's a Wonderful Life is the best Christmas story of all time. And there is no question that It's a Wonderful Life is a good movie, and there is no question that A Christmas Story is a movie.
Dun, 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 dun.
Asked and answered.
And to be perfectly honest, it was such a convoluted moment in my brain in that recording session because I really wanted to side with Mark Gagliardi because that is a brilliant movie that does take place a little bit at Christmas, but is mostly a New Year's Eve movie, honestly. And a movie about basketball courts above pools, which is still amazing to me. That's a true miracle as far as I can tell.
The old swim gym.
And your dumb movie is all about Christmas. But I think what I said was that Gagliardi did not make a strong enough case or compelling enough case.
You basically said, I think that what you told me essentially was, as a judge, I know your client is not guilty of this murder, but I'm going to electrocute him anyway. Yeah. You're the reason.
Right. And because the thing that makes It's a Wonderful Life a Christmas story is that Jimmy Stewart's character, George Bailey, is a Christ-like figure who is willing to sacrifice himself for the good of his community. And similarly, you had to be sacrificed with your belief in that movie because no one would save you from the cross, such as this Barabbas over here. Right. Who, even after having been shown what a greater movie this was by me, you did not argue well enough for it. So you were crucified, and you said to the Romans, let him take him away.
Well then,
which is how we got Christmas.
Allow me, Hal, then.
That's not how we got Christmas.
Pretty sure.
Christmas is when he was born, not when he died.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
But it is a big part of his story.
This. For Barabbas, I'm Jesus Christ.
I don't know who Barabbas is. I'm not comfortable taking his identity. But thank you to our three guests. Thank you all for joining us. Best Cuisine has been settled.
Yes. But there are more topics to discuss, so please reach out to us on Twitter at WeGotThisTweets or check out the Maximum Fun subreddit. There's probably a flame war happening right now.
You can hit us up on Facebook at facebook.com/WeGotThisPodcast or email us at WeGotThisPodcast@gmail.com. Thank you to our producer, Ken Plume, who's live in the room. Graphic designer, Uri Kelman, researcher, Kate McManus, and QA engineer, Jen Alba.
Thank you, as always, to Jonathan Dinerstein and Mike Furman for our score and song, respectively. And thank you once again to you, our audience, for coming out tonight and for listening at home. We wouldn't do it without you. We couldn't do it without you. Thank you. It's been so fun to actually see your faces and to say it to them. For Hal Lublin, I'm Mark Gagliardi.
For Mark Gagliardi, I'm Hal Lublin, and don't worry, everybody.
We got this. Thank you.
Thank you.
We got this.
I'm Biz.
And I'm Teresa, and we host the weekly comedy podcast One Bad Mother.
We celebrate our moments of parenting genius,
as well as our failures.
Just like, we're going to have hot dogs. And I'm like, no, we're having fun. Everybody loves hot dogs.
Yeah.
And he just like smashes that thing right on my chest. And then I'm just crying in the middle of like kid space while people are like literally dancing with their children.
Parenting can be sad and painfully funny at the same time.
So join us each week as we admit that this is hard, but we're getting really good at it.
Find us at MaximumFun.org or wherever you download podcasts.
Do you live in the fictional city of Chicago? Do you love amazing podcasts like Max Fun's own Lady to Lady, Minority Corner, and Bullseye? Do you enjoy insightful interviews with talented actors and comedians like Dwayne Kennedy and Andre Royo? Don't miss your chance to be part of podcast history by attending the first ever Chicago Podcast Festival. Lady to Lady and Bullseye take the stage on November 17th, and Minority Corner performs on November 18th. Tickets are on sale right now. Visit MaximumFun.org for more information and to grab your ticket today. Right now.
MaximumFun.org.
Comedy and culture. Artist owned.
Listener supported.